What's going on, guys? It is Financial Friday and I am Tanner, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how me, a 17-year-old, is just shy of $25,000. And I know that to some people that doesn't sound like a lot, but my goal is to hit $100,000 by age 20. And we're going to be talking about how I started making money up until this point to have $25,000, and nothing has ever been given to me. Let's get into it. So let's take it back to when I was a young lad with long hair, because I thought I was a cool skater boy and fit in. And let's go ahead and talk about how I got my first job. So rewind back until I was 15 years old. Okay, so I had just turned 15, and this is kind of when I really started wanting to make money, because anytime before I had money, I would get, $5 from my grandma, or I'd get like 20 to $100 from my grandma. I would have to go out, spend it on a new toy, or go out, spend it on candy. I would spend everything, right? So fast forward, like I said, I had just turned 15, and now I pretty much had no money, but I wanted to start making money because I have loved money. I've always been obsessed with money. It's just something that I have loved since I was young. So I'm just shy from about 5 months from turning 16, right? And this is kind of when everybody starts getting their regular jobs, all of that stuff. And I am, let's say 15, let's just call it 15 and a half, and I have really started like searching for a job. So I am putting, applications on anything, lying about my age for my applications on Indeed and stuff like that, because I really just wanted a job and I really wanted to start making money, because I finally started figuring out, people are bringing in, a couple $100 paychecks every 2 weeks. I want that because a couple $100 sounds great. And so that's exactly what I did. I started, applying and trying to apply everywhere, but nowhere was really accepting me because I was lying about my age. And sometimes I'd tell the truth and they just really weren't accepting anybody younger than 16 for liability reasons and for laws and stuff like that. So my parents ended up going to this pizza place called Pie Zone. It was right down the street from my house. They knew that I have been searching for somewhere to work. I was willing to work any restaurant, to just clean bathrooms, be like a janitor, do anything they needed to make money. And they ended up talking to the people who own the place, because it's not a chain, it's just a tiny little mom and pop shop. They started talking to the owners and they're like, yeah, my son's been looking for a job. And the owner was kind of interested. So she said, yeah, bring him in. We'll talk to him. If we like him, he's hired. Well, that night we go back and I'm talking to her and she likes me. I get hired on the spot. Boom. About 2 weeks later, I start working, and this is where I start making my couple $100 paychecks every week. And I thought I was rich, I was 15, making $300, $400 a paycheck, thinking I am freaking cool. Now, being 15, I think I was just in my sophomore year, kind of ending towards the year. And I was really, really excited to have a job. People were kind of like, whoa, how are you making that kind of money? I'm like, yo, I'm just working. I just got lucky. I had people telling me, yo, let me come work with you. I was like, yo, no. And even to this day, I don't let my friends work with me, because I don't like working with my friends, because I know I'll just end up messing around instead of working. And I'm a hard worker, not to toot my own horn, but I do work hard and I actually take it seriously when I am working. So that's something I really just don't want to ruin, and I don't want to mess up, because that's probably the best character trait I have about me. So a couple months go by. It's been about 3 months I've been there. I've saved up pretty much every dollar I've got, and I still do that to this day. I do not like spending my money. I will not spend my money. I won't go out with friends. I won't go to a movie theater. I just won't spend my money. I hate seeing my account go down, but I do love seeing it go up, let me tell you. So like I said, 3 months go by and I walk into the store and I'm about to clock in, and they're like, yo, just when you clock in, don't restock anything. And at this point, the owners loved me. I had a buddy there working. He loved me. We were cool. And they were like, yo, don't worry about restocking. And I was like kind of thrown off by this. I was like, whoa, what's happening? Because my life has been going good at that point, right? I had a job. I had friends, everything going on. I was doing good in school. And I was just like, wow, that's kind of weird. So I started asking around. I'm like, yo, are we closing? Are we closing? Yada, yada, yada. And they ended up telling me, he was like, yo, I can't tell you anything. I'm not supposed to tell you. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, fast forward that night, I get home and it's about 10 o'clock. I'm just chilling and I get a text message in our group chat. And I'm like, whoa, why are they texting me so late? So, and I was actually just falling asleep as they texted me. So I woke up and I read it and I was like, wow. And it basically, I can try and find the message if I didn't delete the group chat. But they ended up saying, "Yo, don't worry about coming back tomorrow. We close the store." And this, I was like, "Wow, they just screwed me, right?" Because I was doing so much for them, helping them, working for them, and they didn't give me no notice up until that night at 10 o'clock when they closed the doors. And I was just kind of thrown off because I was just, it sucked because now I had no money. And my parents gave me a car, and it was kind of, it's just a beater car because it was my older sister's before, and she got a new car, so they handed me this one. And so now I had gas to pay for, insurance to pay for. I also had my phone bill to pay for, and I'm kind of like, whoa, this is a hit because I don't have no way of making money, and all my money I do have saved up is literally just gonna get blown on the car and my phone and gas and stuff like that. So now I'm kind of freaking out because they gave me an offer to go ahead and work at the new location for 14 bucks an hour, which was even more than I was making, but I couldn't take it because I was 15 and I couldn't rely on my mom driving me there and back every day because again, in Arizona you can't get your license till you're 16. So my birthday was about 2 months away or so, and I'm freaking out because my money, I'm pretty much gone. I'm down to my last. Actually, this is crazy that I remember this. So I have spent all my money now on insurance and phone bill and stuff like that, and I was down to my last $101. It was literally $101, and my car payment was due almost. And I had just turned 16, and I'm like, yo, if I don't pay my insurance, my parents don't let me use the car, and because they were not going to pay for it for me. And so I was like, wow, I really got to do something. So I turned 16 March 23rd, and I just started filling out every single place I could. And I'm talking Indeed, I'm talking restaurants, anywhere I could find and put an application in, I was doing it. I did not care. So Indeed, if you guys know me, you guys know I hate Indeed. Every time somebody tells me they're applying through Indeed, I'm like, okay, you're dumb, but whatever. It's not gonna work out. So typically, in my experience, it has not worked out for anybody I know, and so I kind of put the kibosh on Indeed, and I started actually going onto Google Maps, and I really did look in every single block, and I was applying in every single place I could that would hire a 16-year-old. So being 16 years old with my last $100, I can now work legally, and I can now work at a bigger place and a better place than the pizza place because those guys ended up just screwing me. So now, like I said, I'm applying everywhere, and I applied to Olive Garden through their website, and every place I was applying through was through the website. I get a call back about a week later saying, yo, we'd love to go ahead and have you come in for an interview. What day works for you? So we get that scheduled. I go in, I get hired on the spot. Again, about 2 weeks later, I'm instantly starting off my new job, and this is when everything started going good again. So I get hired at Olive Garden, like I said, and now I'm making really, really good money as a 16-year-old. I'm talking really good money. Now I applied as a busser, got hired as a busser there, and I really didn't know what a busser was, and my buddy was bussing, and he kind of told me, and I'm like, yo, this sounds pretty cool, sounds pretty easy. Let me go ahead and do it. So I get started into bussing, and now I'm making great money, even though I know people are going to comment this, even though your hourly pay is low, your tips are still great and it balances each other out because I was getting about 70 bucks a night in tips. That was pretty much my minimum, was anywhere from 60 to 70 bucks a night, and some nights it would be more, some nights it would be just a little less depending on the day, but my average was about 60 to 70 bucks. And with my hourly pay, that comes out to just under $20 to $24 an hour, depends on the day, like I said. And I know people think, oh, you're only getting paid $9 an hour. Yes, but the tips help that, and it basically only boosts it up. It really doesn't go down from that. So, it's kind of just all perspective how you look at it. So I'm leaving with about 20 bucks an hour a night, pretty much my minimum. And as a 16-year-old, that is absolutely ridiculous. There's some great jobs out there that pay 20, 25 bucks an hour, and you're working way more hours than I am. So at this point, I'm pretty much working less hours than all my friends. Sometimes I'd work equal, and I'm making pretty much double to triple the amount of money they were making. And on top of that, I get paid weekly, and I make my tips at that night. So I'm really just, cash is just flowing in, and I'm getting so excited. So again, like I said, all I've been doing is saving my money. That's pretty much all I do with my money. And I was just stockpiling it all because I wanted to buy a new car, and I didn't want the car my parents gave me. And my sister was just about to turn 15, and she was going to start driving, and my mom was like, yo, you guys are going to have to share the car. I'm like, that's not happening. So I go ahead and start saving up because I wanted to buy a new car. Now I'm looking for about 6 months, and I'm like, yo, I kind of need a car now, or I just really wanted a car, everybody at my school was getting a car, and I'm like, dang, dude, like I just want something, you know. So this was pretty much going to be my first purchase I have made since I started making money, and that was going to be my car. Now my car is a 2003 350Z. It's nothing crazy. Yes, it's an older car, but this thing has made me a lot of money, and I have some people where if I were to resell it right now, it would actually be an investment, which typically cars are not, and I could make money back on this car. So, you know, it ended up working out. Well, January of last year, it has pretty much been a year. On the 30th of December, it has been a year since I bought my car. I spent $4,500 on that bad boy, and that was the real first hit my bank account took since me not having a job after they closed down the pizza place. So again, all I've been doing was saving my money, and I had about 8 grand when I bought the car. It was somewhere between 6 and 8 grand when I bought the car, and now I'm left with about 3 grand, right? So I have about 3 grand left after buying my car, and I'm like, okay, I'm still sitting good. If anything were to go wrong, I still have money where I could pay for my insurance. And by the way, guys, 16 years old, insurance on the 350Z was 230 bucks. I've spent probably two grand on insurance right now, so that really sucks. But it was worth it. The car's super cool, manual, everything awesome. I love it. So again, I'm just saving my money, and fast forward March 23rd, I just turned 17. I had about 10 grand back in my account. And this is from just saving all those months up and just working hella hours. I would pick up any shift I can, and I would work really, really good hours. So fast forward to about right around February was, I think, my most month I've ever made money, and I hit about 3.2K that month, and that's just due to me picking up every shift I could, working hella hard, pushing myself. And I was, you know, it sometimes it was miserable having to work, and it put a lot of stress on me, but I knew the money was good, and that's pretty much what I got distracted by, was the money. And I was just working my ass off. Now, go ahead and go to March. This is when pretty much COVID got serious and the world was shutting down. And it was Friday. My birthday landed on a Monday last year, and it was Friday. And that's when we had a meeting at work, and they basically told us, yo, we're closing down the store. You can either work on to-goes or whatnot. You know, you don't have to work these next couple months. You could stay on unemployment as an option. And the first 2 weeks I took off of work just to basically catch a break, and it was paid. So I was getting paid to sit at home and play Call of Duty Warzone. And so, but after 2 weeks I was super bored, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go back to work, see how it is. So I start working to-goes, and this is when money just started literally flowing in. So I'm working to-goes, and everybody was getting stimulus checks, stuff like that. Everybody was just being super generous with their money, throwing it around like it didn't really cost them anything. And I was making a lot of money. And so I'm making good money again, and I'm still saving up all my money. And so I'm doing that for a couple months, and just recently, I think it was like somewhere around August, we opened the store back up. And I permanently have made the switch to the goes. I'm not going back to busing. I got bad knee problems, so carrying heavy trays is really not the best for me anyways. And the money on to-goes is way better. After this corona stuff, the money for busing kind of went down, and I think that's how it is for every restaurant. And so money on to-goes has been really good, and so I made the permanent switch. I have pretty much still only saved up all my money. My other purchase I have made has been my camera equipment for my side job, which is my real estate 3D tours, which if you guys are on this channel, you guys know about. And I think that's been pretty much my only other purchase I have made, other than my car, that has really, really hit my account. Again, fast forwarding up until right about, I think it was October, right around October, this is when I have about 20 grand in my bank account. This is all cash, like this is liquidity, right? So this is nothing invested or anything like that. At the time, I really didn't know. I knew what investing was, but I was always told as growing up, you know, it's very risky to invest, all that jazz, you know, everything everybody else hears. Well, my buddy was making good money while investing, and so I'm like, yo, I kind of want to start learning how to do that, because he's making good money and catching up to me in a shorter period of time. And well, you know, things ended up going south for him, and he ended up losing the money, but it's still like the fact that he was able to make that money in that amount of time was pretty crazy, and I wanted to learn how to do it. So this is kind of when I started like thinking about side hustles and investing. So I go out, and that day I buy camera equipment, and I spent about 500 bucks on camera equipment, And so that one kind of hit me hard because I don't like spending my money. If you guys know me, I do not spend my money at all. I cannot make that any more clear. Like, I will not buy chips. I will not buy food to eat. I won't buy anything. Like, for example, I was craving Panda for about 3 months, and my dad just bought me Panda the other day. And I was like, see, that's how I got my Panda. I was willing to wait and not really spend my money because I know I don't need it. I just wanted it, right? So I know what I need and what I want are two different things, and that is a big thing when you're trying to save money and when you're trying to become financially free, because living frugality is pretty important when you're trying to save every dollar you can. And right now I'm pretty comfortable with saying I think I have the most money in my school, but it wasn't just given to me. So, everything I have I've earned and I've bought myself. So, and you guys may be asking, right, when I said I don't spend money, how'd I get my computers? How'd I get my stuff like that? That is all pretty much bought before I started making money. Before I really had a job. That was just me saving Christmas money and stuff like that. So this was all stuff before. So like I was saying, being frugal is pretty important, especially to me. I really know what I need and what I don't need. And like I said, my camera equipment's right there. This is kind of when I started my side hustle. And right now I'm down about 500 bucks, but I've made 60 on my past deal, which I did forget to record. I'm sorry about that, guys, but I will record the next one, I promise you guys. And I will take you guys and walk you guys through the steps I do to go ahead and film these tours for people from start to finish. But like I said, I've made about 60 bucks on my last deal, and I got some more deals coming up, and I'm just trying to get that camera to pay for itself. That is pretty much where I want to be, and obviously I'll continue after it pays for itself. Now again, this is kind of when, like I said, I started my side hustles, and I really got heavy into learning about investing. I have spent so much time learning about investing. I've spent so much time trying to learn about the differences in investing, forex, options, mutual funds, all that stuff, because I'm really trying to build my financial wealth to $100,000 by age 20. That's really something I'm trying to do, and all I need, guys, is $75,000 more. And with me graduating this year, turning 18, I won't have really much to do other than work, and I only work nighttime, so I will have a lot of free time to just learn and do everything I can to make money. And that is when I really got into investing. So I had my mom open me a custodial account with Charles Schwab, and now I just transferred 300 bucks in there just to kind of play with, because I'm comfortable with losing $300. I'm not saying I want to lose $300, but if I do, I'm not going to be, absolutely distraught. Yes, I hate spending money, I hate losing money, but at the same time, this is for knowledge, this is investing in my knowledge. And I'm currently reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which you can actually see is right here. So I'm currently reading that, which has really changed my mindset. And I just want you guys to know, like, no matter what age you guys are, you can start making money. And like I said, my goal is 100K by age 20. I got about 2 years and a couple months to do that with, and that is more than enough time to hit 100K, especially considering I have 25K. So if you guys are thinking I'm kind of bragging or whatnot, I'm really not trying to brag. I just want you guys to know it is possible. I started working when I was 15, right up until right now, current day, and I'm still working, obviously, and I'm not comfortable with where I'm at. I still want more. People are always like, why don't you go out? You got all this money. And the only people that know I got this kind of money are my parents and my friends. And I mean, I'm talking my friends. When I talk to my friends, I'm talking about my close friends, my closest friends. It's like a group of 7 of us. And so, they're always like, yo, you can spend the money. My dad is big on it. He's like, yo, you got all this money in the bank. Go spend some money. I'm like, Dad, I do got all this money in the bank, but just cause you have $1,000,000 doesn't mean you gotta spend $1,000,000. So that's kind of my excuse anytime people tell me to spend money. It's like, yeah, just cause I have $25,000 doesn't mean I gotta go out and spend money like I got $25,000. Cause guys, to me, no matter how much money I got, $5 is a lot. $5 is, I don't know, just the way I look at it, it makes $5 seems like a million. Some people are, that's why people always are broke, right? They're always like, yo, it's only $5. Oh well, here's $5. Yo, it's only $20 to go out to eat. Here's $20. Whatever. Oh, it's only $2. This kind of mindset is why people don't have the type of money I have at my age, because I'm willing to know, again, what I need and what I don't need. And going out to eat, I don't need. I can eat at home. I'm fine with it. Going out and spending $2 on candy is really not something I need. And candy hurts my teeth anyway, so it's like, why would I even do that? And so, it's just kind of two different mindsets. My mindset I just gathered on my own. I've really made everything I have. I did it myself, to be honest. The only thing that really started me off was, thankfully, my parents ended up getting me that job at that pizza place, which was super cool. And I know I'm kind of going on and on, but let's go ahead and talk about my future real quick and what I plan to do with this $25,000. And I will be making more before I turn 18. I turn 18 in about 4 months, so I still got time to make money, and my goal by graduation is to have $30,000 in the bank, which I have just shy of $25,000, so that should be a piece of cake to hit. So my future, I know I'm gonna have about 30 grand coming straight out of high school, which is really, really good. And I don't plan on going to college. I know a lot of kids go to college. College to me is not worth it, especially, like I said, I've been learning a lot about investing, and I'm trying to take that investing route. But with my $30,000 I'm gonna have, I plan on investing in real estate, and I plan on getting my real estate license and starting going towards the real estate direction. And I know that when I turn about 20-ish, I plan to have a down payment on a house. $30,000 is quite a bit of change to have a down payment on a house. I could pretty much get a down payment on any house I want. That is pretty much my goal. I do not plan on moving out until I can buy a house, because rent to me is not worth it. You are giving your money to somebody else and making them rich, whereas a house, you are putting your money into an investment. The market will rise. It will continue to rise. Market's been super hot all of 2020, and there's been a lot of people making a lot of money on their house. If you are willing to stay in your house for 5-10 years, it is very, very much an investment and very, very worth it. So that's kind of my future plan with my money that I will be having by the time I graduate. And honestly, it might even be a little over $30,000. It just depends on how much I really want to work towards having more than $30,000. So I'm about to show you guys something, and this is just cash I have right here that I've just been collecting for 10 days. Every night I get cash tips. I just put them in my room, and I go to the bank like once every 2-3 weeks just because I don't want to go every night. But this cash I've made in, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 no 10. I made this cash in 10 days, guys. I got $1,000 just chilling on my table right here, right? This is money I made in 10 days. That's $100, a little over $100 a day, right? And to be rich and to be a millionaire, you only need to make $279. So if I could somehow manage to bump this up, then I could potentially be a millionaire in my life. And that's what I'm kind of going for. I'm trying to break the cycle that my family has always had. I'm trying to be the first generation millionaire in my family. And that's kind of my goal, and that's kind of what I'm working to. So again, guys, this is not to just brag. This isn't to do any of that. It's just to show you guys that it is possible. If you guys are out partying at 16, if you guys are worried about this, and if all you guys are doing at age 16 is partying, going out with friends, drinking, smoking, doing all this stuff, you guys need to understand that your future is important. And like, you're doing all this now, and you're about to graduate starting out with nothing, and this is when people fail, and this is when they get into the cycle of a job and in this never-ending loop of never being successful. Now, successful means different to everybody, but everybody thinks of money as successful. If you have money, you're successful. So if you guys are starting off late, again, you guys can always counteract it and always come back from it. But partying at 16 and trying to do all this stuff, you're wasting a lot of time, and it's very important that you care for your future, because everybody wants to move out at 18 and all this jazz, but you can't afford to move out at 18. So I don't know how you think you're going to do it with no job, with no money, with nothing. And a lot of people say money's not everything, but if you have no money, you have nothing. So money has to be something, right? So, money is, in a way, money is everything. It is comparable to oxygen. If you have little oxygen, you can't breathe, right? You can't do anything. If you have little money, what are you going to do? You cannot do anything. If you have a lot of money and a lot of oxygen, you can do whatever you want. You're able to walk around. You're able to function. With a lot of money, you're able to do whatever you want. You're able to create freedom. You're able to go out when you want, go out with friends when you want, buy what you want. And this is just something people don't ever think about, and it's very important you do think about it. And I know this video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comment section down below. Again, this was just a video showing you guys how I have made 25 grand as a 17-year-old, and I continue to make more. I don't plan on stopping here. If you guys enjoyed the video today, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week for Financial Friday. Again, my name is Tanner, and peace out.
this little space online, this little pocket, where you just discuss food and food videos, and you just get excited about Nutella and chocolate and cheese.